So we're off the ship now, and we're in Ireland. We just stayed overnight at Wexford at some family. So we'll show you the campsite that you can stay at when you come, if you decide to follow over one year. For now, we're on the road to Dungarvan. We're going to be ending up at Cobh tonight, and we'll show you that. But we'll hopefully stop at Dungarvan, and I'll do a little video blog of Dungarvan and some of the places that we've stayed around there. Right, so we've just come into Dungarvan now, and we're following the N25 coming all the way into Dungarvan. And then you get to this roundabout, we're coming up to here, and you'll be going left. You'll be following the R675 if you're following this route. And the R675 will take you down into the Dungarvan harbour. So this is the route you want to be going down. And you can see in front, there's the harbour. This is the harbour of Dungarvan. We'll follow along with the harbour on the left hand side, and then we'll cut across the bridge, which will take you into the main town. And when you get across that bridge in the main town, which I'll show you in a minute, we'll just follow straight down where you get to the main harbour part. And that's where you can stay overnight. It's just over there, across the other side of the water, where we usually stay overnight. So this is the point where you want to go down through the town rather than doing the left-hand turn, which is sat-nav taker, because it's quite narrow roads around here if you end up going down there. So you go straight through this town here, and if you follow this road all the way to the end, and then at the end of the road you do a left, and then that'll take you down to the harbour. And this is Dungarvan main town. So there's a nice couple of bars around here, and sometimes they'll have a market day. It's just around here, and this area they sometimes have a market which they've got going on the side. And then you'll be at the end where the harbour is. Do a right hand turn, and you follow down to the coach stops. Now normally this is quite empty, and just down here is where you can see the coach stops. Is where we normally park up, and you can see there's a camper van already there, and they park up for the night. And we normally stop around here, but we're not going to do that this time because we're going to move on. We just got me in for the day, and it says there campers only, so it is for camping stopover. Alright, so this is Dungarvan. I'll give you just a panoramic view. I know there's a bit of wind, probably noise on the camera recording, and we've just been talking to a couple of locals, and just over there where you can see that hall in the background, I'll zoom in on it. That's where they're just building apparently some more stopovers for camper vans, so there'll be more spaces soon. But they've marked out these ones. There's 3 stops there. You can see we're in the middle, and there's neighbours there on the right. This is new, so these are for stopping over. We used to stay in the bus parks over there, which I'm pretty sure you can't do now. I don't know if it's too busy. You can park alongside here. Pretty sure you get away from it. And so from here, walking wise, if you just go down the end of this road here and then do a left, or just follow the road all the way around, you can follow the harbour around, and it'll bring you back into that main town. This is the Dungarvan town map. And behind us is the Dungarvan castle. This is just on the side of the harbour. So this is just walking along straight from the camper van part where it's parked, that brings you along here and up to the town. This is following along the harbour. It's about a 2-minute walk really. Out the back there, I don't know if you can see, that's the humpback bridge that we went over with the motorhome, and that goes straight through to the town, and over the other side of the harbour is where we come along through them traffic lights. This is the road you'd end up going down if you take the wrong turn, which we've done before with a motorhome. And that's one of the pubs that I'd recommend. It's brilliant for food and a beer at night if you do stop here. Right, so that's the end of the Dungarvan stop. We're going to now head on to Cobh, which is just below Cork, where we're staying overnight in the air. As you can see, more vans have turned up. It's getting quite busy. So we've just turned off the N25 and we're coming down the R624. You need to head down the R624 and follow it along to get into Cobh. So when we get down there, we'll show you the area that hopefully we're going to be staying and how busy it is. This is famous, obviously, like I said, for the Titanic, and it's also famous for the Spike Islands where the prisoners were. It's the prison island. So I'll show you that when we get down there. Right, so we've just turned into the motorhome. You can see a P for a motorhome sign on the main road, which brings you down here. When you get to the bottom here, just go straight on this bit here. Follow the harbour along on the right, and there's a load of nice new houses here on the left hand side. And at the end is where we can stay overnight. So a little bit of information about the area. Then this is a pay €10, but you can stay up to 2 nights, so it's 48 hours, which you pay at this machine here. There is drinking water and chemical facilities, which is quite handy, and normal grey waste as well. There's a play area, as you can hear the kids in the background. We walk from here. You can walk down into Cobh, the main town, which hopefully we'll be eating out tonight. And you can also get the boat to Spike Islands, Prison Islands. That's where the train station is, which takes you into Cobh. And the Titanic experience is just down there. And if you're lucky, on some days when you come down here, the big ocean ships still come in here. And over there, you can see the warship. They have the big cruise liners coming, and they moor up sometimes down here, which is quite impressive to see. Right, so we've just done a 2-minute walk, and we're down to the train station, and this is where you can get a train up to Cobh if you want to go to Cobh. This is the end of where the railway part, where you got the Cobh Heritage Centre. This is a heritage centre which has a history of this area and the Titanic, and it's got a tea room and coffee room and everything else inside as well, which is quite nice. We've been in here before for coffee and a cake. This is the main square, the cathedral at the top. There's a few bars, restaurants, shops, sweet shops, expeditions, all sorts going on around here. So we just walked up to the top, St Coleman's Cathedral, which is well worth the walk if you come here, just to get the view of the harbour below. And you can just about see Spike Islands out there as well. I can't even get it all on the video camera at the width. Right, hello everyone. We've just woken up from being a night at Cobh, which is quite good. Screenshot you can see at the back is the picture of the Titanic Restaurant in Cobh, which we had a meal at. This is just from my laptop. I'll show you some pictures of what we did last night. It's a great restaurant. It's one I would recommend. Good food. You can either sit in one of these booths and look at the harbour behind you, the ships going past. Or on a good day you can sit outside. There is quite a few restaurants or eating out places in Cobh, so I haven't been around them all, so I can't give any recommendations on them all, but this one I would say was quite good for the food we had. And I'll put some screenshots up in a minute. And then I picked up some leaflets. This is the one which is the Cobh Heritage Centre, which is just the other side of the railway. This one, I showed you a bit of a clip yesterday in the video. We have done this one, it's quite interesting. It talks about the immigration between the 1600s to the 1950s. It also goes on about the, I don't know if you can see the writing on there, but it goes on about the Great Famine, and then it goes on to the Titanic and the tragedies of the Titanic. It's about €10 for an adult to get in, and I think it's €6 for a child to get in. So there's a cafe in here and everything else you saw yesterday, a shop, a little gift shop, and some toilets if you're around here. It's public toilets. You've got Spiker Islands, which is a boat trip across to the island, which is quite interesting. And Spike Island was originally a 3,000 garrison fortress to defend itself, I think it's against the British fight, and it then got turned into a prison. There's the fortress there. It got turned into a prison, and then the prisoners ended up going on to Australia through the part where they turned Australia into a colony for prisoners. And last night we ended up in the pub at Rob Roy's. Now, Rob Roy's is a famous pub. It's over 180 years of people been going in there for a drink. It's a great pub for music. I think it was Thursday yesterday. I think it's Thursday. I mean, it might be Friday and Saturday as well for live music. I don't know whether it says it on here. But we had a great band last night. A good couple of beers, and it's a traditional Irish pub. So if you're around Cobh and you want to have a drink and some live music, check this out. Check these out. I'm sure they've got their own website somewhere, and they've definitely got a Facebook site. So that'll be it for Cobh. I'll leave you now. We're going to go off to the Wild Atlantic Way now, around to Killarney, where we do our part 3 video on Killarney. So I'm going to leave the video now with some music, live music and screenshots that we had last night. So if you don't want to watch them, just obviously end the video, move on to part 3 if you want to see it. Otherwise, you can sit back and listen to some of the music we had last night, which is a great crack. See you later. That song.